Welcome to Game Devs Play Games, where we play games about game design. And today, we are playing Escape. Close call. I forgot that there was like a subtitle to it, and I was like, oh wait, that's not on screen right now. What was it?
Call.
This is a very interesting game made by Tarboosh Games, or Tarbosh? I think it's Tarboosh.
There's two O's.
There's two O's. Tarboosh. It's a fun game. I forget what kind of genre it falls under, but it's akin to games like Burrito Bison. Is that the game?
Burrito Bison.
Where it's sort of an infinite runner-ish, except you have things that stop you, and then you accumulate points, and you spend those points on upgrades, and then it makes you last a little bit longer until you get enough upgrades to where you can last long enough to win. I don't know if there actually is a winning point in this game, but Nathan just lost.
I was just showing them what happens.
That's the full
when
spectrum.
You die.
That's
the game.
That's Escape. Close call. See you next time, games.
Shut up.
So it's basically a a 3-control game, but the core mechanics require 2 controls, just joystick and then the like close call mechanic. I'm gonna move this cursor out of the screen.
Yeah, get rid of that cursor.
I know that would drive some of you guys crazy. It would drive me crazy too.
The glitching is weird.
So there's
the bug. Not the bug.
The glitchy.
The glitchy.
It's the screen glitch is an intended.
An interesting choice. It
is an interesting choice. So there are zombies in this game. So what happens is when you kill a cop, it will oftentimes spawn a zombie. It's not 100%, but you can hit those zombies and then accumulate like huge sums of points from them. There are some upgrades too that you can unlock that will convert zombies into gasoline.
It also happens every time you run into anything.
Yeah, it's not as severe though. When you bump into things, it just kind of flickers on the screen, whereas if you run over a zombie, it's for like a solid 6 seconds.
I'm gonna try to die. Alright, gotta get a zombie.
You gotta survive long enough to get some points. So right now we're at the point where this is the beginning of the game. We really haven't unlocked anything yet. So you can get upgrades that will allow you to break through the fence after night down, which there isn't a whole lot of extra stuff over there other than new enemies and new zones to drive around in.
So it's like trying to get to the next. It's a zombie survival situation.
Kind of, yeah. So the idea is that you just keep getting more points until you can keep breaking down more and more gates. Until presumably you get to the end. I don't actually know if there is one because I haven't played it enough.
Get the zombie, guys. Did I get gas for that?
Nope, you have to have a power-up that converts them.
So then how do I get gas?
So we might have, we don't have enough points yet. So there are 2 ways. Either you get the power-up that converts zombies to gas.
Well done.
Or in the upgrade screen, you just purchase a bigger gas tank.
Oh. Huh.
And that's one of the cheapest things to purchase, so it's not too hard to start increasing that early on. But it's a wide enough gap that at the very beginning they're like, okay, figure out how to play the game first, then you'll probably have enough points at that point to be able to afford a little bit more gas. And it kind of steamrolls from there, so I guess things do start costing more as you get more upgrades, which is smart in the sense of it encourages the player to diversify their power-ups, because at a certain point, if like buying one gas tank upgrade costs 3 different power-ups,
why wouldn't you just
try that? Yeah, exactly.
And especially because if it is anything like Burrito Bison, as you're describing, then it's those other special upgrades that really make the game different.
Oh, absolutely.
That I don't know.
Now, the interesting thing about this game, at least in comparison to games like Burrito Bison, is that...
Why did my perspective change?
I don't know.
Did I just...
Oh, the pause screen gets a little glitchy sometimes.
Whoa.
So that was the power-up menu. So the interesting thing is, in games like Burrito Bison, the power-ups are constant. They're always present and active. They're passive in a way. Mm-hmm. In this game, they're active, and you can only use them once or maybe as many times as you purchase them. I think you only use them once, and they're just more effective if you upgrade them. Which is interesting. I guess it gives the player a lot more control, but in a way that they have to be more strategic about it. Okay, so now we can afford an upgrade.
Trying to get there.
Yeah, this UI is probably my biggest complaint about the game, which I guess all things considered, if you're using a mouse, it's really not an issue. If you're using a gamepad, though, it runs into the problem of being like, I don't know where my cursor is, because it only expands the little icon a little bit.
Also, like, if you're on one side, I just had the shopping cart highlighted, and I was like, oh, and I accidentally pressed left, and then I ended up on somewhere else on the screen, and then when I pressed right, it didn't bring me back the shopping cart.
Yeah, I don't want to like poop on the game too much, but
no, it's just layout or interface.
Yeah, the UI for the start screen is a good example of what to not do if you're building a game to function with gamepad. Which maybe they wanted players to use keyboard and mouse. Which if that's the case, then it actually is totally fine. So I would get more gas.
I'm trying to find the thing. Okay, grants fuels instead of points. And that's obviously the big one where as long as you're good at the game, you're rewarded for being good at the game.
The thing is, though, you use that. That's an active ability. So you use it once, and then that's all you get out of that run.
Ooh, okay.
So economically speaking, it's better to get a bigger gas tank in the beginning, in my opinion.
That's fair. All right.
But there are some pretty cool power-ups. You can get like an automated turret on your vehicle. You can get like reinforced cars, so you can just destroy everything that you crash into.
Yeah, when you're showing me like a cool little video of it, and I was like, oh man, look, you can be a tank, and that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's the other thing too, is you can unlock a lot of other cars. I don't know if they have a mechanical benefit or if they're just aesthetic. But it's fun. I think that games like this need to have a lot of those little like fun unlockable things. Because it sort of rewards the player on a constant basis. One thing we haven't talked about too, if you pause really quick, there are these goals that you get for every single mission. And after you complete all 3 of these, you'll level up, and then a new set of 3 goals are going to be in place.
So I have to complete all 3 for them to...
Exactly. And so...
What's a standoff?
That's a standoff. So you've done a standoff, you need to run over a zombie.
I think I did that.
Oh, maybe if it's green,
I don't need
that
to
means
do
you
it
did
all
it.
in one game.
No, you don't.
Okay, then yeah.
Yeah, I guess the green ones are probably the ones that you've done. I think. I don't know.
So that should have been my 3rd one.
Oh, you needed to do 3? Yeah, then you're probably good. There you go.
Alright.
When
so
the
3rd goal.
Yeah, so now you level up. I don't know what that does, to be totally honest.
Maybe it increases my crash modifier, because I have crash times 1.1. Did I always have that?
I think that's just based on your performance. Last for at least 20 seconds, which you've already done.
You gotta perform a close call and do a standoff that lasts a very long time. That was not
I think that's
to do.
Maybe it's not cumulative. Oh, maybe it's just this. Yeah, I don't think you actually have to be... The standoff, by the way, when the devs sent us this game, I should have specified that earlier. And in their email, they were like, to be honest, I think the standoff in this game is like the best feature of the game. And he got really excited about it too. And like,
it is really what makes the game unique. Because not only does it enables that like slow down time thing kind of in a way. I'm like, that happens every time you have a close call in general, but
it gives you a lot of fine tuning.
That was bad.
Or fine tuned maneuvers, I guess. And I think that's really important in a game where you need to survive as long as possible.
Yeah. It definitely. It allows you to pull some cool maneuvers. I think
you feel really cool when you do it too.
Definitely.
At least successfully.
The biggest thing about it is that it allows your car to move in a way that is unusual. Because if you always just went back and forth like this, then there wouldn't be a whole lot to the game, honestly.
That's fair.
But the fact that you can drift, essentially, is allows you to move in unpredictable ways.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're bad at the game like me, it's unpredictable. What's cool about it is you could just press it though. You don't have to actually move the arrow. So I'm just like, yeah, define physics. Woo! Oh no!
I've come to find that a good opening strategy for this game is to just hang out around these buildings and let all the cops just kind of like. Mm-hmm. You can even like just nose plant onto a building and wait for them to all kind of conglomerate. Be like, "Joke's on you, suckers!" and then spin out of there.
Why? So why? Oh, that was. Are you better at this game? Do you want to play so people can actually see somebody who's decent?
Hopefully, I haven't warmed up to this like you have today, but this is also another one of those games that I'll play while I'm in meetings during my day job. So, oops.
So you could have standoff right there.
I
avoided it.
I do find that the standoff is a little hard to predict sometimes, because like you'll kind of move in an arc that like. I don't know, doesn't always feel so natural.
It's what drifting must feel like.
But I think it's one of those learned things, right? Like, once you figure it out and get good at it, then it becomes the saving grace of the game.
Yeah, you have a lot more gas.
Oops.
Now. It feels like you doubled the gas amount.
I don't know, actually. Here. Okay, so we need to do a long standoff, and that's it. So... 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare thumb war.
Maybe just right at the beginning do it. And if you press start, you get past that.
Woo!
Yeah.
Woo! Can't stop it. Woo! Yeah. Oh, that's right. You have to actually end it for it to count. You can't just like hold it and be like, stand up for days, sucker. Okay, so now obtain 1,000 points, run over 3 zombies, and go through a shortcut.
How much money do we have now?
Oh. Not much. That was a shortcut, by the way.
What's a shortcut?
Going underneath a billboard.
Oh. Oh, because they can't go through it, but you can?
Maybe. I think they can go through it. You do get points for it, though. There are a lot of interesting ways to unlock things. Like, you can unlock a card from doing, I think, like, 20 loop-de-loop, or 20 donuts.
That's awesome.
Yeah, take that, sucker.
I think it's really funny. The first time I got 5 cop car crashes, I wasn't even near them. I was just like exploring the map, and they were all chasing me in one weird way, and simultaneously they all just ran into each other.
That's pretty fantastic. Yeah, that's the thing. It almost gets easier when there are more cops because they're more likely to crash into each other. Ooh.
Run over 3 zombies in one run.
I did it.
Yeah. You getting low on gas.
You getting low on gas.
So, mechanically speaking, the upgrades are kind of what makes these games entertaining and fun, like worth playing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the more you play, you'll get the upgrades. It actually adds an inevitability to the end of the game where it's not necessarily a matter of like skills obviously important, but your skill is going to improve the same time that you get those better upgrades. And the game unlocks itself through the upgrades. So right now we're just kind of experiencing like, oh yeah, it's kind of cool. Like you can drive around, dodge some things, and the run will only last for so long. Mm-hmm. You're only able to do so much in one run, and I think that's what's important because as you unlock more gas, as you unlock the abilities to get more gas, and the cycle is very obvious in there that you have an ability that when you run over zombies, you can get more gas. You have abilities to where more zombies show up. There's a loop right there
mm-hmm.
to keep you going. And you can only do those abilities so many times as you bought them, and et cetera, et cetera. So it's the more upgrades you get, the longer you can play in one run. The more runs you do, or the longer runs you do, the more money you get, and it feeds itself.
Mm-hmm.
Until finally you can eventually beat the game, I assume?
Yes, I actually, while you were talking about that, I remembered what the win condition of the game is, and it's to survive for 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, it does actually kind of clearly say it.
Yeah, it was almost silly that I forgot, because, yeah, they do kind of, like, reinforce that everywhere. Ooh, boy, so many cap guys. You ain't gonna catch no one no how. So, do you think that there needs to be like more enemies early game? They later introduced things like SWAT cars, but to be totally honest, they're just kind of like slightly bigger versions of the cop cars.
Oh. I mean, probably not, honestly, because I already have a hard time as it is with the game.
That's fair.
So as I get better, then I'm gonna start seeing more cars and stuff like that. Oh, so did your car just change?
No, it's just the crazy wow, I ran over 25 zombies.
So the major question I have is why
kill me.
Why this aesthetic, right? Why are we going with that glitchy, hazy, like 80s on some type of acid or something feel? Why was that why was that the purpose of the developer? And actually, it'd be awesome if the developer saw our thing and actually commented on that, because I would like to know. That's really cool.
That's what I'm the most curious about too. And like, the game's already so hard that I find it really interesting that they chose to like do the crazy glitch screen to make things even more difficult.
Especially once you hit zombies, because it gets much more difficult, but the zombies get you more points.
I mean, there's even the question of like...
It's a risk reward.
It's even the question of like, why are there zombies? This doesn't seem post-apocalyptic.
Right?
But maybe that's all part of the narrative, right? Like, it's sort of an unwritten narrative. So things are happening. This world is just given to the player. You know, I don't think that's so bad to not explain things. I think it's actually really cool, because then it just kind of gives the player imagination. And who knows, when we get to later areas, maybe we find like a military base that's overrun with zombies.
That would be cool.
I mean, we can get a tank and a helicopter, so it's...
I think a cool thing about it too is it's zombies riding around cars, running from police. When you destroy the cars, they turn into zombies, right? So there is a certain amount of like you can understand the narrative that they're going for, because if dinosaurs showed up, I would be very confused. At that point, I would just say, all right, this is just a fun, wacky game. But no, they're obviously telling some amount of story here.
The question now is, are they zombies before the...
Right? Are the zombies coming after you now that they're... Like, or were they always, like, cognizant? Are these actually very, very, like, very good driving zombies? Maybe that's the case, because once they get on the street, they tend to not want to go near you. So they're relatively intelligent. Or maybe they, like, it's only when they're behind the wheel that they're so dangerous and actually want you, you know?
Very Mad Max.
Yeah.
Well, cool. I think that's really, like, all we can show you guys in a short amount of time of this game, but it's definitely one of those games that once you kind of get into it, I feel like you lose track of how much time you've spent into it. I mean, I logged maybe 3 hours accidentally during the workday one day, so if that's any indication.
Oh, look at me going around this building.
But the game is on Steam, and I don't think it's too expensive, so it's worth checking out if you guys like this kind of stuff. So I guess question of the day, I could ask if, you know, about the enemy types, right? Like, or we could even ask about the aesthetic.
Yeah, could talk about the upgrade system and how the game has an inevitable loss to it, right? Like the gas.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of a big one. I feel like there's a lot of like bigger design conversations we could open up onto the floor with this. So then maybe the question is, what kind of upgrades would you guys design to help facilitate this design that has that sort of inevitable end? I guess most of the upgrades being, wow, that was awesome. Woo! Most of the upgrades being an active one-time use kind of deal kind of makes that a little bit easier to work around. But I'm curious to see what kind of upgrades you guys would make for a game like this. And obviously, we didn't spend a lot of time talking about each of them, but
yeah,
some of them are pretty straightforward. Like, you know,
like,
causing
it'd be
more...
really cool if there's a way to make more zombies show up. Well, there is.
There's a way to make more enemy cars spawn, too.
Ooh.
Which I think is kind of fun.
Whoa! Master player.
Yeah, I think you're better at this than I am.
Olympics. That's my new thing.
Well, thank you for watching, everyone. If you like this video so far, or if you like this video in general, feel free to give it one of them thumbs uppy things. And if you like our videos in general, feel free to subscribe to the channel because every one of you guys helps big time. And last but not least,
except for you.
Ooh, we don't talk about that guy.
Intense fight.
And also, vote on what you want us to play next, because whatever gets the most votes in this little voting system right here is what we'll play on the show next. And that doesn't mean that we won't play other games that are submitted or sent to us, but that's what we'll make sure that we spend a lot of time playing, 4 or 5 episodes-ish in the next run. So, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.
That's my hopes and dreams right there.
Crash multiplier of 1.6. It's a pretty good hopes and dreams.
As we're talking about burning from my butt.
That is burning from the car butt.
Bye, guys.